well?
Yeah, I think Stacy touched on a lot of them, so I'll build on some of what she said and how I've used it in the past. But I think one thing that is really helpful to give constructive feedback and even to drive those recognition programs is data. And so that's a huge component of like, what data are you collecting and what are you doing with it? And so that's something that's really central to us here at AWS, but also at Rackspace, is to build those programs. So when we look at recognition at Rackspace, we launched what we called the quarterly CSC, our Customer Success Center MVP Award, and that was our speaker who had delivered both the most EBCs with the highest CSAT score in combination, and it got super competitive. So we had like VPs, if they didn't get the announcement that they won, they'd come in and say, who got it this quarter? And it was just kind of a funny thing to see, and they'd, you know, build these relationships with each other and learn from each other, and that was really cool to see. Here we also look at top speakers in terms of volume, and then look at CSAT kind of holistically, both across tracks and topics, but then at the individual speaker level as well. And we're not quite there yet, but we're trying to figure out how we develop enablement for our speakers and proactively pull them in when we're seeing a trend in their CSAT scores that's not up to the bar that we would expect for an EBC speaker, because certainly we don't want to remove them, but we want to provide them with the resources they need to be successful. So that's something that we're hoping to implement in the coming year here. But I think that that little things like ice cream at Rackspace, it was cookies. Everyone wanted to do briefings because they got chocolate chip cookies. And we would also do small awards that were for speakers specifically, for the Speakers Bureau. Here on an annual basis, we recognize speakers who've delivered more than 4 EBCs in a year, and they get to select speaker specific swag, and they all love them. And anytime I talk to them, they're wearing their hoodie or they show me their socks because they're so excited about their speaker socks. And I do think it really goes a long way. And to Stacey's point, it goes in 2 directions. If we see that a briefing didn't land, ensuring they have that feedback because they want to know it. What could they have done better? And I think the last piece I'll touch on here that I've seen has been really effective. I feel very fortunate to work here. There's incredibly smart people that work here, and they are super willing to share what makes them successful. And so we've started highlighting our top speakers in something we call speaker shorts, and they're 90-second to 2-minute videos where they'll talk about what to look for in a briefing document or how to prepare for a briefing and what types of questions to ask the account team. And so these are our most frequently used speakers from across the business that take time out of their days to show other speakers how to be successful and how to prepare, or even the nuances between a virtual briefing and a in-person briefing from a speaker's perspective. And so we have a good collection of those growing, and they've been really successful. And we send all our new EBC speakers to that resource so that they can hear from speakers in other parts of the globe and speakers even here in their same location, and take that and run with it as they start taking these engagements.